They're not going to put one of those rifles in my hands and tell me to round up Canadian citizens. They're not going to give me one of those rifles and a snappy Chinese uniform and tell me to go invade the US. What they're going to do to me is they're going to put a Chinese bullet in my head. That's what they're going to do to me. And that's what they'll have to do to me. I am not going to go against my own people. I am not going to go against the United States of America. Come and join me today on my channel. I do a little walk. It's about -3 degrees. And I discuss how we may have Chinese military installments on Canadian soil and what Donald Trump may or may not do about it. Pretty wild accusation, pretty wild theory. But yeah, stick around and you might start to believe that, because I certainly am. Stay tuned. Now bear with me. This one might come across as completely crazy, but I don't think it is. What if I were to tell you that Canada is secretly, or not so secretly, allowing Chinese military installments on Canadian soil? Now, Dewey, what does that mean? That's quite an outlandish statement. I did a video about 2 or 3 months ago with regards to PEI and the amount of land that Buddhist monasteries are acquiring. How you doing, sir? Good morning. Sam Cooper did a piece on it, I don't know, maybe, well, I guess maybe 3-4 months ago, and they outlined some nefarious goings on within the province of PEI, which included large money transfers being, and I don't mean transfer, I mean like physical cash being put into PEI banks, and they are all in $100 bills, and they're all sequential. And it's believed that and I'm talking hundreds of thousands of dollars, and it's believed it came out of Toronto, the money. So they've been acquiring land in PEI for over a decade, and they're building large state-of-the-art temples, monasteries. Now, a young gentleman by the name of Harrison Faulkner just released a documentary that more or less, well, shouldn't say more or less, that was thorough with regards to his first-hand account. He went down to PEI. I've only been on the island once, and that was back in 2003. I was there for 10 days. Nice island, I got no problems with it. People, they could be a little standoffish, that's all I'll say, but the actual island itself is beautiful. So Harrison Faulkner went down there and did I don't know, like a 45-minute YouTube video, which I'll put at the end of this video. And he talked to locals, he talked to some politicians, and he tried to talk to representatives of the Buddhist, I'm going to call them compounds, because they're on large swaths of land, like large parcels of land. I don't know the exact total of acreage that the Buddhists have bought. Is you don't get an accurate account. Some say 400 acres, some say up to 6,000 acres. So I'll let you watch the documentary. You can determine what you gather from that with regards to how much land they have. But if you look at drone footage, aerial footages of these compounds, you will see that they are well laid out, and they have large areas of land around them, open land, open space, so you can kind of see what's coming at you from all directions. Now, some people have, in the comment section of Harrison Faulkner's documentary, some people have likened these buildings to military barracks. Now, the Buddhists, through a lawyer, have claimed that they have 700 people there that are studying Buddhism, they're practicing Buddhist. Now, their lawyer contacted Harrison Faulkner and gave him a cease and desist. They didn't want Harrison to release the documentary. They are stating that their population, and they're Chinese Buddhists. I should have Well, anyhow, the lawyer stated to Harrison Faulkner that the people in PEI are experiencing harassment. They are experiencing assaults. So they want Harrison to take the video down, which Harrison says he's not going to do. By the time of me doing this video, I didn't check today to see if it was still up. So hopefully I can put it at the end. Now, what if there is any truth to some of these people's allegations with regards to them putting forward military bases from China, the Communist Party of China, the People's Republic of China? What if there's any truth to them building military barracks on Canadian soil, specifically on an island in the Atlantic Ocean, the Gulf of St. Lawrence? Now, this leads me to Mark Carney, and everyone that follows my type of content knows that Mark Carney is working hand in hand with the Chinese. Now, a lot of people also say that Trump is very aware of what the Chinese are doing on Canadian soil. Now, over the years, there's been rumors, well, not even rumors, it's been confirmed that the Chinese had people sent from China to open up police stations. So they're essentially Chinese police on Canadian soil. We all know the Chinese has a far-reaching intimidation throughout the world of their expats. They have people within the Chinese community that monitor, and for lack of a better word, they keep their population that has left China in check, including people from Hong Kong, Michael Ma being one of them. The recent MP floor crosser. So where my mindset is, I believe that the Chinese are setting up military installations on Canadian soil. Now, you look at there's Buddhist monasteries in all throughout Toronto. They're not all Chinese. Some are Vietnamese, some are Chinese, and whatever other countries that practice Buddhism, when they come to Canada, sure, they need a place to pray. But we all know over millennia, over centuries, that places of worship can mask a lot of horrendous or clandestine things within the walls. Now, there's a Vietnamese Buddhist temple near my house, and you know what? Never had any problem with them, whatever. But what's to say that, and this is pure speculation, I'm just throwing it out there. What's it to say that a lot of these Chinese Buddhist temples that are on Canadian soil aren't armories, aren't staging areas for military action? Crazy, right? Or is it? I don't know. My mindset is, I'm not saying all the Buddhist temples are infiltrated by the People's Republic of China or the Communist Party of China, and I'm not saying all Buddhist temples are masking a clandestine military operation or military base armory. I'm not saying that. But when you watch the Harrison Faulkner documentary at the end of my video, you can make your own conclusions. My conclusion is that Canada has been overrun and infested with Chinese operatives. And now my conclusion also, it covers the United States as well. The United States has been overrun and infested with Chinese Communist Party operatives at the highest of levels, and the highest of levels in Canada, obviously, as well. And we got down there to Lavender Creek. I got a hill here, a little icy. That's my mindset. Now, a lot of people in this sort of mindset or this sort of circle, they understand what I'm saying. A lot of people will listen to this video, watch this video, and say that you're completely off base, you're completely crazy. Now, it leads me into some of the comments that people left, again, on Faulkner's video and other videos covering this topic. They are saying that Donald Trump is very aware of what is happening in Canada, to the point where Donald Trump and the United States will have no choice, listen to this, will have no choice but to take military intervention into Canada. So that means that the 51st state talk rears its head again, its ugly head. When I first heard Trump mention the 51st state, when he took his second term, I'm like, you know what, Trump, this is absurd. Like, you know, I get your troll game is high, but the way you're talking, you're pissing a lot of Canadians off, and it did. It pissed me off too. It pissed me off too. I'm a patriotic Canadian. I don't want to be governed by the United States. But now we're almost a year into his second term, and I'm kind of looking at the prospect of being governed by the United States as a foregone conclusion. So which means Donald Trump and the United States military cannot have a Chinese forward base that borders the United States. And in my estimation, that's what Canada has become. It's become a Chinese forward base for the Communist Party of China. Now, I'm just a low-level knuckle dragger walking up an icy hill in Toronto. So I don't have any other intelligence brought to my world other than, you know, what's in printed media or what's on the internet. So that's how I come to my conclusion. Now, Trump has arguably one of the best intelligence apparatus in the world. So he is fed intelligence whenever he wants intelligence. He gets his daily briefings, and he knows he should know without a doubt what's going on within this country. Now, the unfortunate part about Donald Trump, well, there's lots of things about Donald Trump that I'm losing. I guess the word is respect. I am losing respect for the guy. He campaigned on a lot of hardline campaign promises, and they haven't come to fruition yet. He's done some good, and I'm not going to get into that. He's done bad, and the world literally is against him. So he's a very strong, resilient man, especially for his age. A lot of people call him a dummy and this and that, and he does make some dumb remarks. There's no doubt about it. And I'm not saying he doesn't, but I wouldn't call him an unintelligent person. He's got to know what's going on up here. But he has his hand in so many cookie jars. If he takes his finger out of one of the dikes, one of the holes in the dike, that dike's going to explode. So he needs more than 10 fingers, is what I'm trying to say. So people are hoping for Canada's future, to flush the Chinese Communist Party out of Canada, that Donald Trump has to invade with the military into Canada to weed out the high-ranking politicians in this country that have facilitated it. And right now, Mark Carney is the highest-ranking non-Chinese operative in the world. Mark Carney has been chosen as the leader, the unofficial leader of the Western traditional ideological communist takeover. He is the top person. Justin Trudeau was a patsy. He was like a Lee Harvey Oswald dimwit. I'll never say Mark Carney's a dimwit. Mark Carney, his level of evil is unbeknownst to us. That's what I will say. His level of treachery is beyond scope. So now, 2026 is a week away. Mark Wiseman, his new Canadian ambassador to the United States, will be in place. Now, if you don't know who Mark Wiseman is the operating, I believe the operating director of the Century Initiative. The Century Initiative was founded in 2014 in Canada, and their main mission statement, or their main goal, is to bring in 100 million people into Canada by the year 2100. So 75 years away, 74 years away. They want 100 million people in Canada. So hence, with the Trudeau Liberals and now the Carney Liberals, you are seeing over 1 million people a year brought into this country from, oh, I don't know what, 40, 50 different countries around the world. Now, for a country of our vast geographical size, yeah, no problem, no problem. But for a country that is set up the way our country's set up, where a large majority of the population lives as close to the US border as possible, so the most southerly point in Canada, and the largest concentration is in the greater Toronto Hamilton area, the Golden Horseshoe area, Toronto. By far, it's the greatest population in Canada. So when you bring in 1 million, 1.2 million every year, they go to large cities that already have existing infrastructure. You can't take someone out of India, in the warmer climates of India, and expect them to move to the Northwest Territories. They have to start off somewhere to kind of acclimatize themselves to the shock of a Canadian winter. So a lot of people come to, like I said in my videos before, they come to Montreal, they come to Toronto, they come to Quebec City, Vancouver. Vancouver's climate's a lot more hospitable than most of Canada in the winter. So you start to see our infrastructures break down. Our infrastructures can't handle it. Now, and that's right across the board. I've touched on it in many videos. So now, this is fact. You can look it up. Donald Trump has recalled 30 US ambassadors from countries that are known to be on board and to be on the same page with the Century Initiative. He also has not replaced 50 US ambassadors from the last president. So there's 80 ambassadors that were traditionally installed throughout the world representing the United States that are no longer representing 80 countries. So now all these countries, like I said, are tied in or allegedly tied in to the Century Initiative. Donald Trump's been on record many times. J.D. Vance has been on record many times stating the need to control immigration. So what is being reported and what has been, not so hidden is the fact that Canada is flooding its borders with immigration to eventually flood the northern US border, in the same regard as the Biden administration, to a lesser extent the Obama administration, flooded the southern borders. Now Trump, by all accounts, has curbed the infestation of the southern border coming in from Mexico. It seems like he has done that. Obviously, I don't know firsthand. I haven't been down there. But by all reports, it would seem that he has done that. Now, are there unsustainable, unvetted immigration flowing south from the Canadian border? No. But in an SHTF situation where we have societal breakdown, the possibility of our large immigration population and they're not Canadian citizens, a good majority of them, they will flood down into the United States. And if there is armed conflict, maybe they will be flooding down in the United States with Chinese military personnel directing them and arming them. I know, fucking crazy, right? That's fucking crazy. But they're not going to put, the Chinese aren't going to put a Kalashnikov or whatever military, I'm sure they're not using AKs anymore, I don't think. They probably have their own military battle rifle, I'm just unfamiliar with it. But they're not going to put one of those rifles in my hands and tell me to round up Canadian citizens. They're not going to give me one of those rifles and a snappy Chinese uniform and tell me to go invade the US. What they're going to do to me is they're going to put a Chinese bullet in my head. That's what they're going to do to me. And that's what they'll have to do to me. I I am not going to go against my own people. I am not going to go against the United States of America. I will die before that happens. And yeah, I'll do. You're talking out your ass. You're a pretend tough guy. No, I'm telling you, that's the way it's going to be. So there will be lots of Canadians that will line up for that rifle. Lots of Canadians lined up for that bullshit COVID jab. They'll be the same type of people. I'm not saying all of them, but they'll be the same type of people lining up for those Chinese rifles. Okay. So it all ties into the gun grab. It all ties in to how Donald Trump is treating Canada with such disrespect. He's treating Canada with such disrespect because he knows what that lizard, that fork-tongued lizard Mark Carney's doing to Canada. He knows the intentions. He knows that he's flooding our country of Canada with military-age men. He's flooding Canada with generational military-age men with the laws that are passing in the House of Commons. So, if Donald Trump doesn't want his country invaded through Canada, Donald Trump better do something quick. He can talk about what's going on in Venezuela. He can talk about the war in the Ukraine. And don't get me wrong. They are all valid things to keep, if I was the United States, to keep their eye on. He needs Venezuela for the oil to keep the military machine greased, because he's preparing for war. Don't think Donald Trump's not preparing for war. He is. The Air Force Base, when that Sleepy Joe dimwit auto pen pulled out of, I think it was Bagram Air Force Base in Afghanistan, Trump just said the other day that the Chinese now control that Air Force Base. So, yeah, the Chinese are all throughout the world, not so dissimilar to the United States. Hey, I'm not saying that the United States have been innocent in all this, okay? I'm not saying the United States is, they got their hands squeaky clean, because they don't. I understand that. But I would rather be run by the United States than China. Now, the unfortunate part, there are a lot of people in Canada that would rather be run by the Chinese. And I'm not even just saying the Chinese people that live here, the 1.2 to 2 million Chinese people that live here. I'm talking the Palestinian flag wavers. I'm talking the LGBTQ flag wavers. I'm talking the public sector union flag wavers. They all consider themselves Chinese now. Communist. So that's the problem, and that's the fight that we're having right now. We're not having a fight between left wing and right wing. We're not having a fight between Muslims and Christianity. We are, and we are having, you could look at it that way, but we're having a fight between good versus evil. Communist in my world is evil. I know better. I know a little bit about world history, and it doesn't take too much to know about world history to know communism is a failed ideology. It's failed. So, Mark Carney is preparing the Chinese for war against the United States. There, I said it. Mark Carney is preparing Canada for a war with China's backing against the United States. He is setting up Canada as a Chinese military base. I know, that's pretty fucking wild, Dewey. Pretty wild. It's not that wild when you start digging into it. And I don't hear too many people talking like this, to be honest with you. I hear people beating around the bush with regards to it, and I know what they're saying, reading between the lines, but they're not coming out and saying it. So you can imagine what I think about Mark Carney and liberals. And if you haven't figured that out by watching my videos yet, well, maybe this video will get you over the hump. So anyhow, watch that Harrison Faulkner video with regards to the Buddhists taking over PEI. It's quite disturbing and maybe eye-opening to a lot of people. And yeah, put some thought into what I'm saying here. The world's against Donald Trump. The EU, all the traditional colonialist countries are against the United States. That's why Mark Carney, when he first took office, he said the traditional relationship we had with the United States is over. That little fork-tongued 145-pound lizard said it was over. It's over. Yeah, that little fork-tongued lizard. That's why he needs 100 armed guards around him. That guy couldn't beat a cold. And it's the people like him that are very dangerous people. Weak men are very dangerous, and I've been aware of that my whole life. So put in the comment section you got anything to add to this, hey? And you know, you say, Dewey, you know, you're a propagandist, you're a grifter, you're crazy, you're uneducated. Yeah. I've already had all that. That's getting old. So anyhow, I'm gonna continue my walk. This whole pathway's been uphill, and it's been all ice. People, the situations I get myself into are very risky. I'm kidding. Well, maybe sometimes I do, but thanks for watching. Enjoy your day. Bye.